If you're trying to improve the prospecting results of your team, you probably ought to assess your own activities first. Here's some things you ought to focus on. Have you reviewed the prospect list of your team members recently? If you haven't done it in the last 3 months, you probably ought to do that first. Second, have you clarified your expectations regarding the amount of prospecting you'd like each team member to do? If Amanda has recently inherited a portfolio, her priority might be customers first, not prospects. John's situation may be very different. Have you used your weekly sales meetings to drive home the importance of prospecting? If new client acquisition is at the top of your list of priorities, you ought to weave that into each sales meeting. Are you strategizing with each team member regarding their prospects? This starts with how they're getting in the door, but also includes how they're going to establish some momentum going forward. It could involve who to involve in prospect calls, including senior management and product specialists. Are you yourself making joint calls with each team member? There's a tendency when you go on prospect calls with your team to take things over. Avoid that temptation. It's important for you to use these calls to support your team members and also observe how they're doing in front of prospects. Are you doing all you can to eliminate obstacles that may be in their way? Obstacles that could be addressed through perhaps better research tools. If you're not supplying industry information to your team, you ought to think about adding that. And finally, are you doing enough to celebrate small victories? Prospecting is a tough road. If you're only talking about results in the form of closed business, you may not be giving people enough recognition for the small victories that they're making on the road to success. This could include everything from getting in the door the first time to a prospect, to getting back in the door a second time, or even developing a proposal for a new prospect. If you think about what you're doing, you can add a lot to the success of your team. Hopefully these questions will give you some ideas about what you can do to improve their success.